warning, spice, spoilers, and potentially triggering themes ahead. Protect your peace and listen with care.
Hey nerds, thanks for joining us for an episode of Read Me Like One of Your Books. I'm Lindsay.
And I'm Courtney, and we're here to overanalyze fictional characters like it's our full-time job.
Welcome to our first podcast. I'm so excited. So my name is Lindsay. I'm a married mom of two. Courtney already knows that, but I wanted to introduce myself to y'all. And today our first podcast is going to be about Throne of Glass, but I'm going to let Courtney introduce herself.
Yeah, so I'm Courtney. I am single, childless, and I'm in it for the books.
Absolutely. And the characters.
My God. And the characters. I do want a fae.
Yeah. I mean, we're looking for you one. We'll find you one somewhere. We just got to trek through the woods. So we want to talk about Throne of Glass, our favorite series ever. It was the one we bonded over the most. I'm a huge reader, and I knew Courtney was too, but I was like, you have to read this. I think I got you to read ACOTAR first.
Yes.
Which ACOTAR is great.
Yeah.
ACOTAR is one of my favorites, but Throne of Glass is my Roman Empire forever.
Oh my God. It's definitely my all-time favorite series.
Absolutely. I think first we have to talk about Assassin's Blade. I read it fourth. There's big debate on where you read it. Most people read it first. You didn't even know it existed until you were done.
I didn't. I called you because I was so desperate for more Aelin, and you said, oh, well, did you read Assassin's Blade? I read it at the end. But I'd recommend reading it sooner, for sure.
Right. I mean, there's big debate. A lot of people say you should read it first. I really enjoyed reading it fourth after she meets Rowan, after Heir of Fire. They say it's more romantic that way. Yeah. I mean, no matter where you read it, it is devastating.
I know. Well, I think the risk of reading it first is I was already hooked on Aelin and the storyline and the characters. But I think if I had read about Sam's death initially, I don't know if I could have gotten. I don't know. I don't think I would have walked away, but I might have walked away.
Really?
I don't know.
You think it's that traumatizing?
It was sad.
It was so sad. It was so sad. It's not a great place to start. I feel like Throne of Glass is a much better place to start. But if we're going to talk about Assassin's Blade, we have to talk about Sam and his tragic end. I mean, it was Aelin's first chance in her whole life since her parents had died to have any sort of happiness, because she'd been trained to be an assassin since she was 8, right? And she'd been through so much, and she finally had a really good friend, and they fell in love, and it was adorable, and they were young, and then he wasn't just killed. He was murdered, and it was tortured. It was awful. And then her running, trying to save him, and then just basically giving up. And then Arobin double-crossing her was just the worst.
Yeah, no, it was awful.
Now, we also got to meet Yareen for the first time in Assassin's Blade, and you don't realize how important she is for, 4 more books, right?
Right.
Yeah. And then we also meet Ansel of Briarcliff.
Yeah, which that was a good story, too. When they steal the horses.
It was probably my favorite story in Assassin's Blade.
Agreed.
But Assassin's Blade definitely wasn't my favorite book.
No.
So then we get to Throne of Glass, right? And we get to meet our real cast of characters here. Selena Sardathian. And I have to say, when I started this book, I was like, I thought this book was about some girl named Aelin, right? And I kept wondering, where is she?
Right.
But, we get to meet Chaol and Dorian. Now, let's talk about the fact that you listen to the audio, right?
Right.
So he's been Chaol for you.
He's been the whole time. His name was Chaol.
And he was Cole for me for months because I read the books with my eyes, not with my ears. And he will be Cole forever, also because he sucks, but,
Well, I remember when we started talking about it, I'd be like, oh, yeah, I'm Chaol, because I couldn't stand him, honestly.
Who can?
And you're like, wait, who? Cole?
Cole and Dorian and Selena. So they get her from, what's the camp called?
Oh, the prison she's in?
Yes.
No.
Oh, no. We didn't look this up before we
No.
started. Bad on us. Anyway, she gets rescued from the death camp she's working in. Basically, it's salt mines.
That drive me crazy. Endovier,
yes.
Yep, I was that's going to drive me crazy.
They go get her from Endovier for basically Throne of Glass's version of the Hunger Games. I mean, bring your person to represent us, and whoever wins gets a prize.
That's right.
Yes. And of course, Aelin wins. I mean, we're not doing this without spoilers, so if you weren't ready for that, I'm very sorry. And in this book, we get to meet Nehemia.
Oh, Nehemia. I can't believe. I hate that she killed. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about Nehemia. Like, I appreciate that she sacrificed herself for her people, but I feel like it was a pretty vicious, brutal way to spin Celaena into becoming Aelin.
I mean, couldn't we have talked to her? You know, I'm just saying. We could have tried to have some conversations and been real honest with her. But I get that wouldn't have made as cool a story.
I know.
But Nehemia is frustrating for me as a character because she's keeping so many secrets. But, you know, she was a good friend to Aelin, kind of, for a while. I mean, she lied about being able to speak the language. She lied about a lot of things. You know, but we fell in love with her in Throne of Glass. But her whole storyline is about spiraling Aelin out and Aelin wanting to defend her people.
Right.
And then that brings us into Crown of Midnight, where her and Cole fall in love. Gross.
That's gross.
I mean, at this point, he's not gross. I could have gone this whole story with her and Dorian being together. I was really rooting for him from the beginning because Dorian, and he is such a great character. Cole is just an awful character. But at this point in the story, he is a really good friend to her, in all honesty. I mean, they train together. They do all kinds of stuff.
He isn't though, but I feel like the whole time he's just judging. He's judging
so
himself
judging.
for liking her. He's judging her all the time throughout all of this, Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight. I cannot stand
He's
the
a
moral
mean girl.
grandstanding.
He is. He's moral grandstanding on a, like, but he is the leader of the guards. Like, you should have had to do some really sketchy things for this really awful king already.
Exactly.
So you standing on this high moral ground about anything is crazy, right?
Exactly. Well, like she points out, you came to Endovier, saw all of the chaos, the devastation, the slavery, and because none of it affected you directly or your people, it was irrelevant. But then he wants to judge Aelin, Celaena, whoever, for everything she's doing.
Right.
I can't get on board with that.
So Crown of Midnight was great, but it was really just a continuation of Throne of Glass. But in Crown of Midnight, I think the biggest thing that happens is Nehemia is murdered.
Her tragic death.
Yes, her tragic death that she knew was coming and just decided to go for it because Celaena needs to save everybody and she really needs to wake up. But there is a point in the story where she's talking to Elena, right? And she's like, he's not ready, but she is. So this could have gone one of two ways right from that point in the story, because she could have picked Dorian. Because Dorian could have gone on this journey. Now, would Dorian have sacrificed so much and saved everybody? I don't know.
I don't know if he had the backbone for it. But my issue too, though, with that whole thing is, I'm like, I get it, but you knew how this was playing out, Nehemia. And why did your last interaction with her have to be call her a coward?
I know.
That was devastating.
Oh, that was devastating. But it did, like, fuel her. But it plays so much into, like,
but it almost pushed her
Heir of
over
Fire.
the edge.
Yeah. I mean, when we get to Heir of Fire, she is a drunken mess. Let's just be very honest.
That might be my favorite version.
Right? I mean, she gets mistaken for a vagrant at one point, right?
Oh, that's the meet cute.
Yes,
that's the
yes,
meet cute.
that's the
That
meet
is
cute.
my favorite. That's probably one of my all-time favorite meet cutes, and it gives me hope. I'm like, okay, I can be my stinkiest, my dirtiest, absolutely hammered, and then find the love of my life.
I mean, he does punch her in the face.
He does.
Right there.
But I know, they hate each other.
Yeah.
But they also, like...
Love and hate are very close.
Yeah.
It's very close in this. But I love the meet cute. I love that it took them so long and they really had to earn each other's respect.
Yeah.
Right? Because, you know, at this point, you don't know anything about mates or anything like that. You do. Right. Rowan eventually tells the story to her after they have gone through so many things together with the training about his first wife and how she was his mate and how he blames himself and the fact that she was pregnant and she gets killed. Ultimately, we find out that there was more to this story. Yeah. But you discover why he is so traumatized and why they're both so guarded about this. I mean, she went through Sam.
I know.
She had to deal with Cole, you know.
Well, and even her whole backstory.
Yes. I mean, everything.
Losing everybody.
Yeah, and he lost everybody, too. And he just winds up with Maeve, who is just the absolute worst. And he is just a hollow shell. Let's be very honest. They are both very hollow shells. Yeah. When we go into Heir of Fire. Yeah. And they have to build each other up and come to terms with identity in this, you know? Heir of Fire is where she really is like, at the end of that, she decides to become Aelin.
And I love that they become Caranon.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
the power
that was
share. It's
when you have that scene where she's fighting the Vlog Princess and she's about to die and everyone is holding Rowan back and he finally makes it over there and cuts his hand open and gives her his power.
Oh.
It's such a great scene. I was so glad that I did this one in the reread because it was awesome to listen to. But we can't talk about Heir of Fire without talking about my favorite character, Manon. So we get to meet Manon in Heir of Fire and the 13. So they are a clan of witches, and the witches are badass. The witches they have iron teeth, they have iron claws, and they don't care about anything. They are ruthless. It's what they're known for. They're supposed to be soulless. And I think that this also plays into the identity of everybody in this book because Manon identifies with what she's told, that she is soulless, you're ruthless, and you are a killer, and you are out here just to cause mayhem and do what I tell you to do. But then she meets Abraxos, right?
Oh, I love that.
Listen, that was the meet cute I was here for because when she falls she gets pushed into the pit and Abraxos is being killed, right?
Yes.
And she's in there and she like makes eye contact with him and she can feel it coming off of him that he's just like, let me free. And she does, and he kills the big dragon or wyvern that everybody wanted. It was awesome. It was awesome. And then you start to get to know Abraxos through this.
You get to see Manon has a soul.
Oh, yes.
That's
her first little glimmer of a soul. Yes, empathy right there. And, Abraxos, she gets him new wings. She has him trained. Like, she never gives up on him. She also thinks that if Abraxos doesn't make it, her grandmother will have her killed anyway. So she plays it on that, but really she loves Abraxos. Yes. And then she also saves, So
Keely gets injured because she is a bitch, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can say that on this podcast. She's a bitch. Like the yellow legs there. But yeah, no, they save. So Keely gets injured because of sabotage. And then, so they can't save Keely, but they save the blue blood heir.
Yeah. And I mean, she didn't have to do that. And in the end, she is beaten for it. Her grandmother beats the crap out of her for doing that,
Well, and that's when she makes her kill her half-sister.
Oh, is it?
That was the punishment to show her she was ruthless. She didn't know at the time it was her half-sister.
That's right.
But that's the one who whispers to her.
I did just read that. Yeah, that you weren't born this way.
You were made.
You were made. Yeah. Oh, that was such a good part.
That's such a good part, and it's just such a, life lesson. I don't know. Born or made.
Manon and the 13 go on a real journey from that point through the end of the book, but we'll talk more about them when we get to Kingdom of Ash. Okay, so we also have to talk about how we met Sorsha. Yeah. Dorian gets a love interest, and it's really cute, and she was great, and then she gets beheaded, and that was awful.
It was, though, but half of it was so awful because I was so happy for Dorian.
Yeah.
He was so heartbroken over Selena and the relationship with Chaol. But I mean, he finally kind of moved on and found somebody, and then she gets taken too, and in the same swoop, he gets collared.
Oh, he gets collared it was heartbreaking because Dorian is a well-loved character and he does go through so much, but it's not until after he gets collared that it gets even worse.
I know.
This series is really good for, you think this is bad? Just wait. Something else really terrible is going to happen to one of your favorite characters, and that's really what's happening here. Yeah. But Dorian's story only gets better from here on out. Yeah. But before we leave Heir of Fire, let's talk about Maeve. Because we get to meet her the first time in Heir of Fire, so she doesn't initially get to meet her. She sends Rowan, and she's like, train her, and when she's ready, you bring her to meet me. And this, Rowan and Aelin have their meet cute, they have their training, and she discovers that there is a connection between them, their carry on. Yeah. And then, so remember, they're in that cave, and she finds the ring.
Yes.
They don't tell you that she finds the ring at that point, but at that point, she knew that she had to try to unbond him to Maeve because they needed to be together, and it was awesome. I loved it when she finally did get to meet Maeve and she lit everything on fire. Oh, that was
she's
just
such a
badass. And she's like, "Do you want this? You're gonna let him go?" And he bonds to her right there.
I know.
That way she couldn't tell him no, and it was quality. It was such a good scene. So Queen of Shadows, Heir of Fire is one of my favorite books just because of you meet Manon and the way it ends, and it really propels us. But at the end of Heir of Fire, she leaves Rowan.
She does.
To go back.
Yeah.
Because she has some stuff to do, and Rowan, of course, he doesn't listen, but that takes a while, and we'll get there. So let's dive into Queen of Shadows. We first meet Aedion in Heir of Fire when he is there with Cole at the castle. And when everything happens, he actually gets taken. And he is in the castle dungeon.
Well, he confesses to try to save Sorsha.
He does, but it doesn't work.
No.
He gets put in the dungeon, and Aelin finds out that he's in there, and that's kind of when we get to Queen of Shadows. She discovers this. She was already on her way there. She knows that she has to go and save Aedion.
Yes.
And it is glorious. You always expect with Sarah J. Maas the last 100 pages of the book to be great, but I would say in Queen of Shadows, the beginning of this book, the whole book was good.
The whole book was good.
The whole book was good.
And you meet Arobynn, Lysandra, all these characters. Each book, there's more character development.
Absolutely.
Like characters you kind of maybe know or have a side story, but there's just growth in appreciating them.
So Arobynn was talked about in every book up until this point. But she has to go to Arobynn because he has the piece of the word key she had on her when she fell into the water as a little kid when he found her, and she has to go. That's why she went back. She winds up saving Aedion, but she went back for Arobynn because she knew she had to get the piece of the word gate key. And her adventure with him, it really solidifies how awful he is and how much he gaslighted her whole life.
I know.
Because he's like giving her all this love and affection she never had, and also at the same time like doing all of these terrible things. But the worst thing about Arobynn, I believe, was when he started trying to sleep with her.
Yeah. Well, he was disgusting the whole time. I thought honestly, like, that final test she gave him where she knew what he was trying to do with that ring to control her, and then he did it, and it was just gross. It was gross.
But you get to fall in love with Lysandra here too.
You do.
And listen, you can't have Arobynn without Lysandra, and Lysandra starts out as something completely different as to what she turns into. I think she has the coolest powers in the book.
Oh yeah.
Because not only is she a shapeshifter, because there's other shapeshifters, she is the coolest shapeshifter, and she really understands. Because she had magic before magic was lost.
Right.
So, like, when magic was lost, she was stuck in this very sexy lady form that she hated. You know? No. I absolutely loved her. And, of course, later on, she gets to meet Lorcan. Not Lorcan. No. Aedion. Her and Aedion line up together. Yes.
Have their Aedion. But that relationship is painful to watch unfold, though. It's like they're cute, and then it's like he does... It's him.
It is.
It's him.
It's him. It's definitely him because Lysandra can do no wrong in my eyes, honestly.
Agreed.
Yes. We do meet Elodie.
Alid.
Again, I read this with my eyes and not my ears. Alid and Kaltain.
Yes.
So Alid was the daughter of Aelin's nanny. Aunt?
Yeah, so I think she was like first to the mother. Her mother's maid or something.
Yes.
So Alid's mom's name is Marion, and she sacrificed herself to save Aelin.
And that is key in Heir of Fire when she finally decides to become Aelin, because that's the memory
she has to overcome. The shame over feeling like this life was lost and she did nothing with it.
Right. So Elodie has a big part to play from pretty much this point out, even though she spends most of it trying to get somewhere in the woods, because she is
so
she has an injury that never healed right yes
no so her uncle she broke her ankle when she was a kid. Her uncle never let the healers in to heal her, so she's got a limp, but it's in Queen of Shadows where you find out she actually has the witch lineage, and her and Manon become close.
They do.
It's like, choose your blood. Do you bleed blue or do you bleed red?
Always blue.
Always
blue. All day. You know, there was no choice in that.
There's no choice.
No. And then Elodie, of course, meets Lorcan and
Alid.
You
can
listen. She's gonna be Elodie to me till I die. Alid meets Lorcan, and we love Lorcan. He's such an ass.
Yeah.
But he, who doesn't love a 7-foot tall Fae warrior?
I know. Honestly. Who just keeps defeating everybody around her.
He's the oldest Fae in the book. He is.
Strongest,
He's the strongest. He's the oldest. He is not a delightful person. Of course, he tries to steal the word key because Maeve sent him to go get it, right?
Yeah.
And
no, Maeve, he betrayed Maeve.
Oh, he betrayed Maeve.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. He is doing
what
he
wanted
thinks
to
is best
take it,
for Maeve,
right.
because Maeve wants the power, and he knows no good can come from the
So
power.
he wanted to take the word key so she couldn't have it.
He wants to destroy them.
So they gave him a fake one.
Yes. Yeah.
And he doesn't know for so long.
I think not until the end of Queen of Shadows.
Yeah.
That's when he switches paths and goes with Elide to go find them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, in the end, he winds up a really great addition to the team.
Yeah.
But at this point, he still thinks he's their enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's starting to show some true colors. You can tell he's fond of Elide, even though he, has some bravado, But yeah, it's not until, I think it's in Empire of Storms, when the cadre is trying to kill him.
Yeah.
That he really steps up and tries to save Elide.
So let's talk about Empire of Storms.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the cadre, because we really get to know Fenris Moonbeam, and I love his last name.
I know. It feels like an unnecessary addition, but it's also so necessary.
and Gavriel, which enters into the story, is Anian's dad, right?
Technically, they were all in Heir of Fire.
They
were
were
the ones holding him down, but they didn't really talk about them. Yeah. But Fenris is my favorite.
I mean, Fenris in Empire of Storms. I love him. His story is tragic.
I know. Well, he's only tied to Maeve because he was trying to save his twin.
Yes.
He never wanted to be there.
And his twin never was. His twin was an asshole. Let's be very honest.
No, for sure. And you don't hear that much about him, nor
No.
should you. But it's like, I just love that of all the other cadre, they went to Maeve willingly. He only did it for sex, so he's never content being there.
Yeah.
And so that's just clear. That character, well developed in that avenue.
So in Empire Storms, we also discover who the Vlag King is. It's Erwin. It's Duke Parrington. It's been...
You're talking about Erewhon?
Erewhon.
Listen,
God.
listen,
Again, here we go. I'm reading with my eyes, not with my ears. Erewhon. Listen, we didn't even talk about Kaltain. We forgot about her because she is Caitlin to me
Kaltain.
forever. Right. I will never read her name as Kaltain.
Well, she's not relevant until she sacrifices herself
but
in
that
the most
happens
epic way. That's the end of Queen of Shadows.
That's the end of Queen of Shadows when she blows everything.
She destroys everything.
Yeah.
And I love it.
So, we get to meet Erwin, the Vlag King, the big bad, the guy who's been behind the scenes bringing all these flag warriors in.
Erwin in the vlog one.
Erwin. Vernon. And then we talk about Vernon, Elide's uncle, who was working with him.
Elide, yep.
Elide. Elide's uncle, who was working with him this whole time, who was basically giving him Elide to do what she wanted with.
Well, he was waiting to see, too, if she had the lineage he suspected.
Right.
And they were going to try to impregnate her with the Vole.
Oh, so gross.
Halfling,
yeah. And then Kaltain wound up having to take the brunt of that. Yeah, which is so sad for her.
But she, Elide gets her revenge in the end.
Yes,
when
absolutely.
They capture him. That's a different book, anyways.
So in Empire of Storms, Ansel, Rolf, and Ghislaine all show up to start helping out because it is time for war. They are circling. It is time to get everybody together.
Yep.
We're finally all converging into one place.
Yes.
Except for Chaol, but we're going to get to that in a second. Because we have got to start amassing this army because we know it's coming, right? And then right when everybody starts to get together, Aelin gets captured because Maeve is the absolute worst.
Yeah, and that's horrible too, that scene on the beach, because also too, Elide feels betrayed by Lorcan because he doesn't have any control, but he's doing exactly what Maeve wants because of the bond. And
and also, can we say that right before she gets captured, we finally get Rowan and Aelin together.
That's right.
I mean, we waited so long.
That's the first spice in the whole book,
really? It is. It's the first real spice in the book. It's a great scene. My only problem with it was that it's on a beach.
Yeah, I know.
And we waited so long. There were so many times where they could have done this. And they were like, no, people can hear us. You chose the beach with all the sand.
I know.
I mean, but I'm here for it. I'm here for it. It was great.
Right.
Loved it. Then she gets captured. God awful. Oh my God.
Oh.
And then when he discovers that she's been captured and Maeve has her and they don't know where she went.
I know.
Oh, it's just heartbreaking.
It is hard, and that's the end. That's a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And then you get stuck with.
Well, also, Lysandra almost dies.
Yeah.
In Empire of Storms.
That happened before Aelin got taken.
Before Aelin got taken, they were with Rolf, and they were trying to get him to bring.
Because she became the mythical creature to get the Mycenians back. Yeah.
So that was a big part of Empire of Storms. But then you go right into Tower of Dawn, and I will say this: I am not a fan of Chaol. I don't think he deserved his own book. I did tandem read this, but I have free will, and we don't have to dig into the whole thing.
No, for me, that book was about Irene.
Yeah.
Like, her character, you needed a little story. You didn't need that many pages about either of them or his back injury, but that's
So you didn't do the tandem read?
No, I didn't. I was stuck. I
did do the tandem read as fast as humanly possible. And I will say on my reread, I skip a lot of Chaol's chapters, and I skip Tower of Dawn entirely.
Yeah.
Because I don't have to. I know what happens in there, and the cliffhanger on Empire of Storms is so devastating.
I know.
And then, I did the tandem read. I'm reading 2 books at one time, and I get to Kingdom of Ash, and I'm like, finally, I'm going to find it. And then you go like more than 100 pages before you really discover. Of just her being tortured.
It was terrible. That was hard to read. I mean, I don't know how important it was to the story. I could have taken about half the torture, but that was hard to read. But when she breaks free, I mean, that's when it really hits the ground running.
Yes, when she breaks free, and then they find her, and it's so heartbreaking because when he walks up to her and Rowan's like, he got her, and she's like, would you take it off of me? And the way, even reading it with my eyes, the way that read, the panic that she had,
she was stuck in the irons. It was horrible.
It was awful.
And you didn't talk about the blanks.
Oh, yes. So when she is tortured, and her and Fenris are together, and they are all that they have, and she can't tell reality from what is going on in her head because there's so much torture happening.
Yeah.
And we get the blinks. That is devastating, I am with you.
Yeah.
I'm here. And then, this is real.
Yeah.
You are here.
Yeah.
Like, it was
awful. And then her skin being completely devoid of any scars.
That's when they knew.
I don't even know how to feel about it still.
Because you would think in most situations where you're reading a torture storyline and then they find them, they would be you would see it all over their body. So the fact that she had nothing because he could heal her completely resonated the same.
I know.
And Rowan knew what it meant.
Yeah.
They all knew what it meant when they found her, and just the pure devastation that she had to deal with, and then immediately having to go to help everyone, with
What's
just
an extra layer of torture. Those scars meant something to her. They were part of her story, and she was so proud of them her too. Yeah, against her will.
Oh, I mean, just thinking about that,
I know
it makes me sad. Mm-hmm. So once we get through the torture, after they save her, they finally get everybody back together. We have to talk about the word gates.
Yeah. I love that.
So, we have to close this gate, or we're never going to stop getting all these bad flag people and this whole army that's coming through at this point. So the word gates, Aelin and Dorian are there. Aelin is ready to sacrifice herself.
Yeah.
Aelin knows that she's going to die.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if Aelin went at it alone, I don't think it would have been enough. She needed Dorian there.
No, I think it literally had to be a sacrifice. If it had been either one of them together. I think the fact.
But I think they both had to be there no matter what to sacrifice most of their magic, and then one of them was going to have to sacrifice their soul.
Yeah.
But then, by surprise, I definitely didn't see it coming. Yeah. Dorian's dad shows up.
Yeah.
And we discover that he is nameless because how did I never catch that we never called him anything other than the king?
I know.
Right? Yeah. But it makes sense that it would be in Dorian's bloodline. Mm-hmm. All this magic, and that he could use his soul, and his soul is erased from all of existence.
He sacrificed himself for them.
He did. So in the end, the real redemption story, I feel like, is Dorian's dad.
That's true.
I didn't see that coming, But while all this is happening, and after his dad sacrifices his soul, she gets sent to where the gods are, and they are like, great, You can let us out. We've been trapped here forever. You open the word gates. Thank you. And she's like, wait a minute. Can y'all please save Elena? Because her soul is in danger of also being blinked out of existence. And what do? They killed her. They go ahead and erase her soul, and they go, now let us through. And Aelin is so mad, validly so, that she opens a portal to Erwin's world, shoves Erwin in, and seals them in there.
This is why I love Aelin, though. I feel like she is karma incarnate.
Yes.
Like, that is her.
Yes, absolutely. So I really love that she screwed the gods in the end, because they did nothing to help anyone except for Aelin. They did help Aelin a couple of times, but not when she really needed them.
Largely selfish.
Largely selfish, yes. And I get that they were trapped, but also, like, when it came time for them to help out and do something, they just wanted to be released.
Trash.
Yeah, we don't need them. And then we're going to get to Maeve. So Maeve shows up. And we have to kill Maeve.
I'm not going to lie. I didn't see it coming that she was Volg.
I didn't either.
I didn't.
Because she was her aunt,
I thought
supposedly.
She was Faye. I had no idea that she had been married to them and she ran off. And that whole side story, I did not see it coming.
But her death was a great resolution to her story because Fenris gets
I know. I was so glad it was Fenris.
Yes.
He deserved that. He deserved that kill.
After she was tortured and he was tortured and she killed his brother. I mean, he earned it. He earned the right to kill Maeve, and she earned the right to die, in my opinion. Yes.
I agree. Well, and as bad as Aelin's torture was, which, don't get me wrong, objectively horrible, to have to sit and watch helpless, like, that's a whole different kind of messed up torture.
So the last thing I want to talk about with Kingdom of Ash is Manon and the 13. Oh my God, listen, everybody had to sacrifice. Everybody had to come to terms with what their identity really was in this. Manon had to come to terms with that she was a good person and that she had these 13 witches, and them together were unstoppable. And these 13 witches knew that's it. There had to be a great sacrifice to destroy these things that they had made, because they were going to lose this war. And Manon is like, I'm gonna run right into this. I'm gonna save everybody. and Esteron, her best friend, comes in, and doesn't she punch her? She like.
Are you talking about Astrid?
Astrid. Astrid comes in.
Her cousin.
Yeah, her cousin, her best friend.
Yeah. And
is like, steals her wyvern and basically, live, Manon, live. I want to read a little excerpt from that. Her second, her cousin, her friend, smiled, eyes bright as stars. Live, Manon. Manon blinked. Esteron smiled wider, kissed Manon's brow, and whispered again, live.
Oh. I know. Well, Manon's backstory is just so great, too, because everybody else, there might be repressed memories, but everybody else kind of knows who they are. Yeah. Manon spent her whole life slaughtering her kin, basically.
Yeah, and she didn't know.
No idea any of her backstory. And then to find out in the way she did, like, and just to overcome it and decide to be good when she's been taught her whole life that she was soulless.
Right.
Like,
and
her story is great.
So she does, it says right here, Manon didn't see the blow coming, the punch to her gut. So she does. She punches her, and then the whole 13 ride off together, and she has to watch them sacrifice themselves. To say that I cried, I mean, I sobbed.
The whole last book. I sobbed for the last half of Kingdom, and I didn't stop. And then even Gabriel died, like, the Aiden's dad, his relationship with his dad, like, not that great, but it was just tragic.
Even on a reread, I sobbed for this.
I know.
Oh, listen, Sarah J. Maas writes books for me. Like, I feel like she knows exactly what it is that I want, even when I don't know that I want it. I was a little surprised so many people lived in the end. I really thought Adian was going to eat it. Yeah. Up until the very end, because he was such a great character. I thought somebody had to die. Obviously, his dad dies. Yeah.
In his place. That's fine. He couldn't die without taking the blood oath. That poor bastard was upset about the blood oath.
He needed that blood.
For the book.
He was. He needed that. So after all of that, I mean, greatest series ever. Hands down. This is my Roman Empire. It always will be. This is the one that I try to get everybody to read.
This series is the reason that we're together right now.
Yes.
This series was our meet cute.
It is. So me and Courtney knew each other before, but this series is really what bonded us over books.
Yes, 100%.
So I'll say this. With ACOTAR, when you read that one, you got through Wings and Ruin, and then you got the Christmas special, right? Yes. Everybody almost dies, and you're like, oh my God, that was great. You just rubbed raw. Yeah. And she gave us the Frost and Starlight, which was great. Sarah, can we have a Christmas special of Throne of Glass? Like, we earned it. And I will reread this often. And every time I'm like, I just needed a little more of them living happily ever after.
I want the rebuilding of the kingdoms. I want the after story.
Yeah, I do.
I need it. We need it, Sarah. We don't just want it, we need it.
Well, I hope that y'all enjoyed our retelling of Throne of Glass, the series, and what we loved about it. I will say that our next podcast will be I Will Break You by Jeezy Sticks, and I Will Mend You, because we're going to do them both. Get ready. So we're going to cover a lot of different things. We're not just going to do fantasy. We're not just going to do romance, but it is going to be the highlight of what we do. So please tune in next time, and thank you so much for coming and listening to us ramble on, and we'll see you endlessly. Yes. Thanks, guys.